Hey guys, it's Kieran. In this video, I'm going to talk about something a bit different. And this is some good advice given to me that I really appreciated before I became consistently profitable. And so I just thought you might take some value from this. Some of you are in a really difficult situation, especially navigating this last month. You might find sometimes you might have gone 5 steps forward and then just 10 steps backwards. And you've perhaps just started out trading, you've tried so many different indicators, then you see someone else using different indicators, and then you keep adding more indicators, and then before you know it, there's a huge cluster, a complete mess. And sometimes less is more. I illustrated this diagram to you to really illustrate what I'm talking about. When I first started this journey, I just thought, okay, I'm going to take a couple of months, and I'm just going to figure this out. But what do I know? It's just been a lifelong learning process. And I suspect a similar thing will happen to you as well. In this diagram, a lot of people dream to get rich in trading. But the problem is the same people are not willing to actually put in the effort, and they just want the end result. And it's saying here that only 40% who trade only last a month. And of that, 80% will usually quit within the first 2 years. And it's saying only 7% remain after the 5 years. And generally speaking, I found that usually 1 to 3% generally stand the test of time. And I thought to myself, why is it that a lot of these people quit? Why is it that a lot of people don't last? And I think it's greatly because everyone's journey in trading is very different. And you shouldn't compare your journey to someone else. Some people might take 1 year to become successful. Some people might take 20 years. Some people might take 5 years. And I do believe a lot of people it's not that they're not capable of it. It's just, they just quit too early before they actually become profitable. And it just baffles me as well. I trained to actually be a doctor before this. And so many people in particular, in things like law and medicine and any career, they're willing to spend so many years just basically sacrificing their life, working more than 9 to 5 jobs just for a stable paycheck. But with trading, they're not willing to be patient. When you see numbers on a screen, you want quick results, quickly. But the thing is that this process cannot be rushed. And what I would say is really backtest what suits you. And it's okay, you might end up in a break-even period for a long time. And I used this actual analogy as well, this diagram, which is interesting. Initially, people start trading, they have some few successes, and they get arrogant, then they lose a lot of money. Then this period here, the consolidation of skills phase, can be really frustrating as well. And you're just breaking even every month. But it's just reassurance that there will eventually be light at the end of the tunnel, if you persevere. And this phase is just beautiful. Because once you have your algorithm, once you've really fine-tuned, just recorded things and find out what really suits your trading style, then the money will follow. Don't chase the money is what I've learned. Going back to this diagram, ask yourself, why is this process not working for me? Why am I only breaking even? I've tried so many different indicators. I've tried so many different courses. And the real short and unsexy answer is that you probably don't have enough market exposure. The next thing is, so what should I do? What should be my strategy? First of all, ask yourself, what edge do you really have in this market? So there's several types of edges in the market. There's an information edge. There's, for example, that's having access to information that's quite exclusive, and that's really helping you, your analysis and being able to see real-time price action before someone else. There's a market share edge. That's where you, for example, in altcoins, you might notice there's a huge participant that owns a lot of the actual market cap of that particular coin, and so there's pump and dumps. But most people, unfortunately, will not have that advantage. The next edge is the speed edge, which, of course, a lot of trading firms would have. So find out which edge is most likely for you, and I suspect for most of us, it's having an information edge. Unfortunately, in this day and age, simple things like MACD and RSI, very discretionary approaches in trading will not work anymore, I think. And it's just not enough of an edge. This is the kind of thing, I think, whilst it can be useful, a lot of new people will just watch videos on this and just start trading. But real life is just so different to theory. And that's why I always think focus on the information edge. So find out what do I mean by that. So an information edge, a non-discretionary and a more statistical approach. So for example, you might think, okay, could it be order flow? Could it be bookmap? Could it be one of these things? And find out if that suits your trading style really. You don't have to overcomplicate things. I'm just giving you an idea. Really ask yourself, what edge do I really have in this market? Because ultimately, to reach this top 1 or 2% that really stands the test of time, it's not going to be free lunch. And you're competing with the brightest minds in the world, honestly. Some people have been day trading, especially in the Discord, for like 10, 20 years. And if you're really stuck, what I would really recommend is just every time someone posts something new in the Discord, really look up and see, okay, why is that person posting that? Let me do some research on that. Because the reality is no one's going to spoon feed you anything. You have to make stuff happen yourself. So when someone posts something and you don't understand it, try and look it up and try and put that in terms of an overall context of your understanding and try and build your knowledge through layers. And also something that's really not talked about as well is in trading you in particular is you can practice as well. A lot of people talk about theory, but you can literally press the replay button and go back in time and see and just pretend that it's that particular day and back in time and pretend you're entering based on your actual set of criteria and just play it down because a lot of practice is actually not talked about and it's so underrated. Ultimately, joining a community of like-minded traders is just such an important thing as well. And that's one of the great things about the Discord as well. And certain things cannot be rushed. I know it's so frustrating for people who've just not really done well this last month, but just always have this in mind, this diagram, and realize that once you get to this bit, tweak certain things here and there, and it's a life skill. Just think, you can do this when you're 50, 60, 70, 80. For me, it's personally worth it. Something else to consider is that, for me, 1 to 3% chance of success is good enough. Because that means in 1,000 people, that 10 or 20 will survive. Anytime someone loses, there's always a winner, right? And so this is something to really consider as well, because if you want to be, for example, a professional tennis player or basketballer, the odds are so much lower. And so I'll take that 1 to 3% chance. Passion also really helps as well. For example, I just love technical analysis, and this really helps to greatly speed up the journey as well. But that's all I have to talk about, and I just really hope this short, brief update might help you a bit.